to you the most? All right, tonight it is Polygyny After Dark. We're going to talk about polygyny. Hassan, you awake? Are you awake? Okay.
It's nighttime.
It's oh yeah, it's nighttime.
It's dark.
So we're going to talk about, there are 3 things about polygyny that people don't talk about at night.
At night?
At night, during the daytime,
Well,
no time.
I don't think they want to talk about this at night.
People don't talk about this at all.
Right.
One of the first things that is that the thought that the existing wife, we hear a lot of things. I've been talking to this to 2 particular wives this weekend whose husbands got married. Not too many people say my husband got married today. Not a lot of people say that, but I've been working with 2 women today, and as they go through the process and everything that goes along with it, one of the things that never gets talked about is that, you know, people always talk about what happens if in polygyny, when polygyny is done wrong. But even when polygyny is done right, even when the man does everything that he can to be as correct as
possible, be above board, his implementation is good.
Right, and he does everything to reassure her that, you know what, that you still bae, that it's still me and you, that the existing wife, she's still gonna feel some kind of way. You know, people believe that, okay, well, you only feel that way because he's done something wrong. No, he can do it right, and you will still feel this way. And a perfect example of this is that, you know, if you have a job and you go apply for another job, why are you looking for another job? You got a job.
Okay, I got you now. You got a job. Why you want another job?
Why you got going to get another car?
Right.
You already have a car.
Right. What you want more kids for?
Well, except for kids. Now, children, that's the only time when people won't say.
Oh, okay.
People won't say, you already have a child. Why you want another child? With the exception of children, everything else, people really expect you to have a level of contentment. And this feeds into the thought for existing wives that, okay, you already have a wife. Why you want another wife?
Right.
In the same way, people will make the assumption that there must be something wrong with
their job.
Because
that doesn't necessarily mean that man has a discontent with his wife, with his current wife. There's something lacking in the relationship with his current wife. If that's what you sound like, that's what you're saying.
Right, but that's always the belief that there is something wrong. It's just like the belief is, what's wrong with your job? You don't like the job that you're at? Because that's the first assumption. What's wrong with your car?
Right.
You just got that car. Why do you need
another car?
one?
Right.
Okay, you have a wife. You've had her for 10 years. Why do you need another one? That this really is not about contentment. Okay, someone said
discontentment.
Right, someone, well, they come slam right you, and someone said, she said, I went through it myself. It just happens. And that's exactly what we're talking about, Nora T, that it does. It just happens. And that he doesn't have to be a bad guy. Y'all don't really.
Or he just ain't, he don't have to be just done with you or have some discontent about you. In that, not so much that he's a bad guy, but he's just, something about you just bad that he need to go get somebody else.
Right. That there is that he can be doing it right, and you will still have these feelings of uncertainty. All right. So the next one, because we've been seeing this one a couple of times. Okay. So set up the scenario. So you have someone who came in as an incoming wife.
Right.
Okay.
Right. She's incoming.
And then
then she became the current wife because the one that was already there they got divorced.
Right. So now this incoming wife, what y'all may want to call the second wife, she is now in monogamy. Okay. Right. But she's in monogamy, but only for a spell, because she has married a man of a polygynous nature. So here it is. Now he is looking for another wife, or even maybe he takes on another wife. Y'all, this concept of, well, you came in on somebody, why you feeling some kind of way? She still will feel some kind of way. A woman marrying a man that's already married, she's never heartless or without emotions. She will still feel jealousy, have some questions, give some side eye, have some fears about him, her new marriage, about the wife that she already has. I mean, people think that because you came in that, you know, you are a trailblazer and that you don't care about nothing. Yeah, you hardcore.
Yeah.
That's not true. She has her own set of emotions. And I'm gonna give an example.
Okay.
And you know the couple that I'm talking about.
All right.
So it was this couple, they had just been married. They had only been married a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And remember when she said she got up and she didn't know where her husband was, and she went and she saw that he was talking with his existing wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, I saw who he was talking to. And then she went back and she went to bed. She didn't care. Mm-hmm. But she was like, today it'd be different. And it's like, why is it different now? She said, because I love him now. She wasn't in love with the man the same way that in the beginning. You just been married with him for a couple of days. You're not as invested. But once love comes in, yeah, people do. They start to hold on a little bit tighter, and they do feel differently. It has nothing to do about whether or not she's the existing wife.
No, so she gets possessive now. So
of course, exactly. She gets possessive once she falls in love with him. Mm-hmm. And this is why an incoming wife, after a while, she will take her own hard stance and her position when her husband takes on another one. Okay, Riri said, this is so true. I'm one of my husband's wives. I know I'm a good woman, and I have no doubt that my husband loves me and his other wife too. No one could ever replace me. I'm aware of my value, but I had to grow to this point though. Exactly. Regardless of how well that man does it or how raggedy that man does it, you really do have to get to that place. And this is the thing, Riri, is that a woman needs to get to that place even when a man ain't doing it right. Because when he does it wrong, it ain't because of you.
Right. I guess if I go back to that second one, though, my question would be, because she's possessive now, mm-hmm. you know, and I guess that's why I would assume some type of empathy should be shown or had if I don't know if I'm saying it right, but someone who's coming in now on her, and she
right.
knew how it was before,
and I think that an incoming wife who then gets in monogamy and then later goes to polygyny, I think she has the benefit of being empathetic and being able to see both sides. But you got to remember, she's still having a new experience. Because first she was the incoming or the second wife. Mm-hmm. Now she was, and then she's the current. She became the current. And then she becomes a solo. So very few women get to see both positions. That's really not common. And so, and who prepares you for that? Oh, okay, well, now that you solo, let me tell you what it's going to be like when he decides to get another one. Who actually has those conversations with you?
Okay, so when the shoe's on the other foot.
You don't know until you're there, until you have to put the foot on.
How about you sharing something with me right there? That's something I never really thought about.
What?
What you just said there. It's like, you know, because now the shoe is on the other foot.
Right, and you never worn that foot before.
You never wore that shoe
before.
Right, and so even though you was coming in on somebody else and okay, I'm cool, this we Muslim, you know, want for your sister what you want for yourself, and all this old type of stuff. And now you have to do it.
Right.
And you know, and you done took on a role, and you might have been his only wife for a minute, and you done had to take care of him. You done this and done that. You have invested more time in it. And okay, I get it now.
Oh, so you didn't get it before?
I didn't. I'm telling you, I didn't. I seriously just got it right now.
Okay,
you know?
So what were you thinking it was before?
Because again, I was thinking, you know, what's she tripping for? You know what I mean?
That's such a man statement.
What's she tripping for? You know, she coming in. She should have knew that job when she took it. You know,
but that's just it. No one knows.
She didn't have that job.
She didn't have that job.
She didn't have that job.
And so, how is she supposed to know?
And it's like, you know, it's like one of those things you forget what it was
she
like.
didn't have that job.
No, you forget what it was like when it was you, because this is no longer you. It's like, okay, I can't assume to know what it's like to be in the 6th grade.
Until you get in the 6th grade.
And I ain't been in the 6th grade in a very long time. So it will be hard for me to go back in the classroom and figure out how to be a 6th grader all over again, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I've been there.
But you don't remember.
But I don't remember it.
Right.
Because there's so many things that have came about
since
then that made me change and develop me to a way that I really can't.
You don't have that frame.
I don't have that frame of reference.
Okay, now
anymore.
take that.
I got you
now take that lack of frame of reference and be in love.
Okay.
Now you jacked up, right?
Okay. I got you. It makes sense. I'm still where I was, but it makes a lot.
You're still where you were because you're a man.
Right. I mean that's, we still got a whole nother side of this talking about with men, right? But that is something that I didn't take into account until actually right now.
And you know what? This is the sad part, is that if Hassan just now took it into account, trust and believe that there are thousands of men worldwide who want to be in polygyny or are in polygyny who have not taken this same thing into consideration.
But now, granted, hold on, let me back up a little bit too, so I make sure that this thing is real. I still have a position, because I am a man, is that, okay, if I introduce it correctly, and I introduce this thing to you correctly.
What is this thing? You mean polygyny?
Polygyny.
Okay.
Know that if it's just become me and you, that this is going to happen again. That somebody else is going to be introduced into this whole thing. So it would be on my mind for you to believe that this is going to happen again.
That's how you
as a man,
think.
That's why I would think, oh, this is going to happen
you
again.
Believe, but the thing is
so keep yourself ready.
Oh.
You know? So
as a man, that's what you think. But I'm going to tell you, a woman, she's not thinking, oh, okay, well, let me just stay on guard now, because any day now he's going to take another wife. She's not.
And the thing about it is,
wife mode.
Right. And the thing about it is, I mean, she will always be in wife mode. If she's current or new or current or one coming in, she's always going to be in wife mode. From a man perspective, and I'm trying to do something from a man's perspective. She's always going to be a wife, because she's always going to be my wife.
Right.
Right. But now, and as a man, I would sit here and think, okay, here is where this thing comes into play. Now, you know this is happening, so I ain't saying you got to be on guard, because that means some type of stress and all this type of stuff, anxiety and stuff. That doesn't need to take place. But know that if I done it with you,
and I did it with you.
Yeah, if I did it with you, right, then I'm gonna do it again.
It's highly likely.
It's highly likely. The likelihood of it happening is
okay. And let's say she knows that. Okay.
But
the day it happens, it's something different.
Because
you and I both know.
Yeah.
We know people who love polygyny.
Right.
Or advocates for
polygyny.
Polygyny.
And the day that it happened,
she a mess.
She just went.
It's something else when you are accustomed to your life being a certain way with your husband, and then literally overnight. He got married Saturday. On Sunday, the life that you know with this man totally changes, and you have no idea how. Right.
No, Saturday it changed.
Yeah, well, Saturday, because you weren't home Saturday.
He wasn't Saturday night. Exactly. So Saturday it changed.
It changes. And then you have and when you wake up Sunday, and it's not about being up all night because you know your husband was intimate with another woman. You wake up Sunday, your life has changed.
What is my life going to look like now?
And she has no idea.
Right.
Because it's not just going to be about what he does, it's also going to be about what he and this other woman does. Who can prepare themselves for that? I cannot prepare myself for what I don't even know.
Right. The anticipation of outcomes.
Yes.
Is brutal at that point, and you really put your mind into. You make a lot of sense today.
I make a lot of sense today. I make a lot of sense today. No, the brother didn't.
Hey, this is what happens after dark, I guess. You know what I mean? But the fear of outcomes, because that's what you're really looking at.
Yes,
it's the fear of outcomes. You know,
and
not even lack of loss at this point.
No,
but it's just the fear of the outcome. What is going to be my new outcome?
Yes.
Makes and
because the incoming wife, she also has the same doubt and uncertainty.
Right.
But she doesn't have anything.
She doesn't have that experience with you.
So she ain't taking no L's.
Right. Well, not like you potentially can be.
Right. That life that the incoming wife, the existing wife.
Right.
The wife that was already there, the life that she had, that's transformed.
Right.
That's going to transition.
Right. And no matter how much, even if you are continuing, and I say this to brothers, regardless if you are still able to financially maintain it like you've been doing or whatever the case may be, there is going to be some sense of loss in the other one, because if nothing else, you have to divide your time up. And that's going to be critical when they have been used to your time. You know, and a lot of times this is where, what do I do now? You know, now I'm on my own because he's no longer here or he's not there or whatever the case may be. So in that, I get it. I think I get it now a little bit better than I probably even got it before. I'm not telling brothers don't shy away from it because of that, but have that in mind when you know now how you're trying to implement some things, and to be able to be more compassionate and have some empathy for your wife at that point too.
I pray so.
Yeah.
All right. So the last one, this is
that makes good sense. I like that. Hit that. Yeah, that's what's up.
Y'all, they gonna see our gang signs. I said we got our we got our own little gang sign that we do. And this last one, this is for the existing wife. Let me tell you something, honey. It's just me and you, okay? I know you've been with your husband for a while. I know that you love your husband. But you will lose some trust in him. And this is by default. That will feel uncomfortable. That will have you feeling off key and off kilter. Mm-hmm. You won't even realize where is it coming from. You know, I'm shaky. But where is my security? Because it is hard to fathom how someone who you know loves you is hurting you like this. The two of you could have even agreed upon polygyny. You could be the postal woman for polygyny. You can love it, but nothing prepares you for the emotions that come up with polygyny. And it is hard to trust someone who has been your friend, who has been your confidant, who has been your lover, who is now also going to do that with someone else at the same intensity that he does it with you. You, by default, you will question whether or not you can continue to trust this man.
But I want to say this. I think, you know, and I can't speak for women, but I don't know if I want to put that narrative like that. I think the trust issue also comes because of fear of outcomes.
Okay.
You don't know that there's not so much an issue of trust, but there's more a thing of doubt.
Okay, but you go into the other part of that, which is the remedy for that. And that part is that, and this is where the men come in. Because how he behaves, how he conducts himself, mm-hmm. how he implements polygyny will either balance her out or tip her on.
What I'm saying though, I don't think it's a matter. I will hope to believe that it's not so much a matter of I don't trust him, as more that I got doubts about my security in this situation. I may not feel, the woman may not be feeling as secure as she once was when it was just
okay. And when when a person gets to a point where they don't feel secure, what is the emotion that gets attached to that?
Well, and we want to call it lack of trust.
Okay.
But I really believe it's more about uncertainty and doubt.
Okay, and that might be
which then leads to because now you're looking at everything side eye. And so that's when the trust factors start piling in and start flooding in at that point. But I don't think it initially starts as.
Right, she
like
just
trust.
doesn't wake up like
right,
that.
I just don't trust that fool
It's
no
because
more.
of the things that naturally come with it, and this emotion is the one that
just start driving
exactly
the situation. Yeah.
So I'm talking about the emotion, and you're talking about the precipitating event that leads to the emotion, the antecedent. That's an inside joke. So we're still talking about the same thing, but this is why the man's behavior is so important, because if you show up raggedy, then her lack of lack of security.
Right.
Is
her sense of certainty
is really going
to be shaky. It's going to be shaky.
And really, you actually have the ability, if she's a healthy woman, you actually have the ability to help her become stable. But if you mess up, cancel Christmas.
No, okay. So, but I mean, seriously.
Somebody said it's all going to be ratchet. Exactly.
Right. At some point, it will be, and that's when, and we'll give over to that idea that I just don't trust it no more. And I don't want nobody to really fall into the line of saying that's the first place they went to, versus saying, okay, I'm doubtful about them. I don't trust them.
Okay, well, I think that there's some wisdom in recognizing how you got there before you use it, because if you can call it out, you can also call your way out of it.
Right. Exactly. If you can see it for what it really is, then that's half the battle. You would know what to do or how, okay, even if I need to say to you, this is how you can make this work better for me. Because this is where I am. I have some.
And this is how I got here.
Right. I do have some uncertainties here. I do have some doubts here. I do have some insecurities here. And this is where they lie.
Yes, Tamika. I said, Tanika, yes, I said raggedy.
Did you say what he said? Did you say raggedy?
Okay, so Kay said, this is why when you already have big trust issues with your husband from the past or ongoing betrayal, a polygyny presentation might tip you over. Agree. Agree. I remember that couple that we were working with where Hassan had told the man, look, and his wife, she was not anti-polygyny.
Right.
She really didn't trust him because of the way he had attempted.
His introductions to things was just awful. It was awful.
Okay, what he said.
It was awful. His introduction to the whole matter was awful.
Because he never did polygyny. What he did was have a series of emotional affairs.
Right.
Under the guise of pursuing polygyny. Right. And that's where she had trust issues. And so this time when he got really close, Hassan was like, I'm telling you, man, you want her to be on board with you without her walking away from you? You need to massage this out.
Right.
Before you go there. You know what? After you told him that, you didn't hear from him anymore.
Not again. Not again. And I don't want nobody to think that I'm anti-polygyny, right? But I'm like, look, if you want to do this is what you need to do, because right now where you're going to get no cooperation. And sometimes polygyny come with minimal cooperation in the first place.
And and then you have to build it.
Then you have to build it up, because you have to restore the doubtful matters and take away those doubtful matters, i.e. build the trust.
Don't show up raggedy.
And
if you have been, because some men are raggedy in monogamy. If you have been raggedy in monogamy and you want to pursue polygyny, you need to fix your raggedy monogamy first before you add anything.
Well, because they cloud it. You actually cloud the situation.
What do you mean cloud?
You cloud.
Be specific.
Well,
cloud the situation.
Well, they know what I'm talking about. You cloud your relationship when you already bad. Monogamy is already bad. You and your woman are already you on the outs. Now you sitting there talking about I'm gonna get another one. And this one right here is all jacked up. Like I said, I wouldn't even advise sisters. I've been, happy to be over their affairs and whatnot. When I hear that that guy that's trying to talk to them and his affairs is jacked up with his current wife, I advise against him even going into it, because why are you going to bring somebody else into that mess? Why would you bring someone into that mess? Now, I'm not going to sit there and say that their relationship has to be like this. Everybody skipping through the fields and all this old type of stuff, right? Everybody just holding hands and whisking down the street. But it has to have some type of balance to where we okay. We all right. I don't have anything wrong with my wife. She ain't no demon in disguise and all this old type of stuff here. And I just want to get rid of her. I want to replace her with somebody else, because really, that's really what a lot of times brothers will wind up doing. It's called themselves trying to replace a woman, his woman, with another woman, and calling it polygyny.
Really?
Yeah. That's
Elaborate on that, Brother Hassan.
Oh, you silly. And so, what happens if he doesn't have a good relationship with his current wife, and then he brings in a new wife, and the new wife just by default, because of the new car smell. Because she got the new car smell. Yeah, because she has the new car smell. Okay. I'm keeping it man lingo. Because she has the newness to her. She's gonna be everything she's gonna do. She's gonna do right. But she's gonna wear off. It's gonna wear off. But by the time she wear off, that will be gone.
Oh, and so then what men do is just to learn to switch them out like tires. Yeah. This one get low tread, get another one. But that's not marriage.
But what I'm saying is this is how they practice polygyny, because
that hurts my heart to hear that.
But I mean, come on now. You sit right next to me in these sessions, just like I'm here. You see it on a regular. So call it out for what it is. When you see the individual, a brother and his wife having these difficulties, instead of working it out, he decides, okay, I'm going to turn my attention to someone else.
Right, because I don't want to work on the stuff.
Because I don't want to work on the stuff
with you.
Either work on it, or i.e. cut her loose and then just go to get someone else, instead of bringing somebody else into that. And then you start giving all this attention over, because this is what also happens. You give this attention over to this other woman, and you start being neglectful to your current wife, because of the beef that's going on. Well, yeah, because y'all beefing.
Right, and then that way, almost in the truth, guess what? Then oftentimes he doesn't even have to divorce her. She
gonna, give me a clue.
Yes,
I want to go. I want
and then you still can be the good brother.
Right,
because you didn't do nothing. Because
you didn't do nothing wrong.
You didn't do nothing to her.
But all of a sudden, all the whole entire time, you was ragging.
Right, and then you repeat the same cycle with the one that you have now.
Exactly, because when she come in and when she get over on this side of the spectrum, then something start acting a little foolish with her, and you bring somebody else in, and you want to call her polygyny because you got a couple of dollars, you can take care of her. She don't mind, because the only thing she asking for $400-500 a month, to take care of her is maintenance. So you getting away with it. And you getting away with it. And so, it's low frequency. All this stuff is low frequency, and so in that, you got this whole dynamics continue to play out, and then it's just like X one to the next one.
Wait a minute, and you know what I'm thinking about? Each one of these women, he having babies with them. Which is another story.
That's a whole nother issue.
But then we wonder why, for what reason we have problems within the community. And this is a perfect example of how the whirlwind, how the tornado just happened.
So anybody view this video at some point in time other than tonight, and thanks to everybody who's on, understand that Nyla and Hassan and Nyla, not talking against polygyny. By no shape, form, or fashion. We're not talking against polygyny.
We just talk real about
polygyny. We talk real about polygyny. You know, if this is something that you want to do or be involved in, by all means, have at it. Get with it. But know that there are some things that is more to it than she was okay with marrying me and I had another wife and I was going to marry. It's more to it than that.
Because sometimes all a man wants is somebody who
agreed.
She said
yes.
She'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think she would come do it.
Right. You know, and then
marry her.
And then all hell breaks loose.
Marry her before she changes her mind.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter about how the quality of her, or
right.
even how prepared you are, or your quality of yourself.
Right.
It's just, oh, you agree? You gonna do that?
Right.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Exactly, Kimberly Saunders, she said,
hey, Kim.
Polygyny has become synonymous with disposable. And you're exactly right.
Exactly. And that's the point that we're trying to make sure that we make clear here, is that it's not synonymous with that. It's not supposed to be attached to disposable. It's supposed to be the bringing of people together. And this is marriage. This is a man married to more than one woman. He has to take care of, just like he take care of her, he has to take care of her, not just on a physical level, but on a mental level, spiritual level, financial level, whatever the case may be, or whatever they work out, however they contract this thing to work out, he still has to be obliged by that. And just flipping them in and flipping them out because she's disposable. And can I share this? Can I share this right quick? And I had to tell a brother today, and we were talking about with sisters, and he was saying how some sisters were a little bit more hard to get to or to reach when he's talking to them. But I had to get him an understanding today, is that, brother, here's the thing you need to understand. You as a man, and as a Muslim man, depending on what side of the road you like to run on, can choose them more than just a Muslim woman. Depending on what side of the road you like to run on, you can choose more than the Muslim woman. But a Muslim woman can only choose a Muslim man. Mm-hmm. So she has to take in a lot of more consideration. She already has a standard that's already set. She already has a standard that's set by Allah.
And then she has to make some assurances that you meet that standard
exactly
that Allah has put forth.
Right. I mean, so she's already had this boundary boxed off for her. She only can marry a Muslim man.
With certain conditions.
Right. Her husband can actually have more than one wife. You see what I'm saying? And so there's already some parameters that's set up for her.
Mm-hmm. Just by default.
Just by default. Just by showing up Muslim. And so in that, you have to take those things into consideration when you start sitting there talking about where she picky, or she acting like this, or she's acting like that, or whatever the case may be.
She should be.
She should be picky. Hold you accountable.
This is the only thing she can pick from.
Exactly. You the only thing. I mean, you and your brother are the only one she can pick from.
And and then sometimes we say, well, the Muslima, she is hardcore and she has greater standards. I want us to be mindful, and when we're talking about
this is after dark, y'all. This is after dark.
When we're talking about the non-Muslim woman, okay, and she may be a woman who's chaste and of character, mm-hmm. which we know are the requirements for you. Mm-hmm. She may be, but you know what? You very well may appeal to her because there are a lot of things as a Muslim man that you're not doing that a lot of other men out there are. But guess what? She's not going to call you to a level of deen. She don't know deen.
Right.
Now,
she don't know. Right.
She's happy that you're not doing dunya.
Right.
She's pleased with that. That's a basic level.
You ain't smoking, you ain't drinking, you ain't hanging out, you ain't.
You home on Saturday night,
right.
You're not clubbing. As a Muslima,
that's expected.
As a Muslima, that's expected.
That's expected.
I'm not even checking for you to do that. Even if you're not married, you shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
But see, she's happy that you're not doing that.
Right. Her level of standard in this whole situation is totally different.
And it's not that she's led